cartels are always hiring temp workers to pick up odd jobs. See if you can lend a hand.
Thanks for stopping by. I'll be waiting.
What's the news? Time's a...
Good stuff. And don't let them work you overtime.
That job's just your style. Burn rubber, honey. The dark few just can't keep out of trouble. Do something about them, would you? Tourists floundering out there in the marinas, bad for everybody. Help them out. You did the job, and you didn't total your car. I call that a success.
How you doing, pal?
Good job, Dollface. You made sure I got my cut of your tip, right?
Dim lighting and absolutely no airflow. Perfect day for a race.
Great work, Toots. I hope your cut's enough to pay all of your traffic tickets.
I think, yeah, these all reset in 2 hours. I can, basically my goal right now is to do all the goblin stuff, and then probably do some other stuff I've been getting behind on mountain wise. I think I have a list. Oh, maybe I need to get a new one.
Welcome to the best place ever.
High gig's easy. 3 rares is easy. 2 races. The delve. I think 25 shinies from dumpsters easy.
Honey, sweetie, baby, sugar plum angel face.
I guess we'll see.
For completing that job. My pocketbook thanks you too.
It's definitely not easy. I think I'd rather do the delve.
Our crews have a higher turnover rate than a log on a river. Go recruit some nobodies to come be somebodies. We got insurance, folks. Clean it up. Better shovel harder. 1 minute, and we are out of here.
I can buy 2 mount chances. I think I'm gonna wait until I get all of them done. And then attempt. When's the next Darkmoon Fair? A few weeks from now. I think the next Darkmoon Fair, I'm gonna try and get the extra rep here done. Darkfuse Solutions. So I farmed them to friendly, and then I heard that's when the grind starts.
Time to head out. Get a move on.
You do the work, I don't break a nail. That's a win-win for me.
Bleak Powder hits so hard. That's crazy. It actually did more than the arrow.
Nice job. Now get back to work, Toots.
Until I rescue this little bunny. Not bunny. What is this thing? A crab. Ooh. Random mog. Sick. And do one more of these jobs. Just to do nothing. Oh wow. Oh nice, we're done with this. Wonder if there's any like groups forming that need people. Ooh, Crassus is playing. That's fun.
What you need?
If you reroll to a different class, what would it be? It would probably
Won't find better.
be
Come back for more. I'll be waiting.
it'd probably be a mage. I feel like I would want to one trick a triple DPS class, and I think mage is like the best options for that. There's always a flavor of mage that's like pretty good. How do I feel about MM single target DPS on Mythics? It's pretty good. I think it's pretty strong.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Mine seems to be on the lower end without CDs. But yeah, it's because you're not hitting CDs, so it really just depends if you hit them or not. I think generally.
That thing snagged my lunchbox earlier.
I think if you're really trying to get single target damage, you could try Dark Ranger. There's like a Dark Ranger key build that does more single target. You're just trading like AoE damage for it. But Sentinel does plenty of single target still. So you don't like need to do that by any means. Does more haste help? For Dark Ranger, yeah. For Sentinel, definitely no. Sentinel, you'll be losing damage by adding more haste. Typically. Why does BM feel so weak right now? Wait. I don't think BM feels that weak right now. I feel like BM's pretty strong. Here, let's look. Let's see. Banshees, logs. Compare like... Here, so this is raid parses. Let's go to 1115. Let's look at Vexy damage. So it's hard to tell because we get like damage bonuses between the weeks. We gotta like, I don't know, Cauldron. I feel like that's pretty similar. These numbers in general look like, I don't know, Sprockenmonger. I think these are all pretty similar. Is it true that streamers pretend to reach out and reply to made-up questions just for content? Never. Actually, I don't know. At least not me. I feel like that is probably pretty true for a lot of people. Compared to MM at least. What's the best option to simulate Mythic Plus, Dungeon Slice, or Patchwork with more bosses? This command might help you. I would never do Dungeon Slice. Dungeon Slice is pretty bad. But like, so anyway, that's raid logs. But if you go to key logs, like let's see, I recently did a Dark Flame as both specs. We can compare those and see where the overall looks different. Damage. Let's see. So I did a 4.4 mil overall as BM in this key, and MM was 4.6 and then 4.9. Like that's pretty similar. I wonder how the Rookery looks. I did one of each recently on Rookery as well. So, well, this is a 12, so that doesn't really matter. But if you compare the 219s I did, I feel like my MM's only 100k higher than my BM. I feel like that's not that different. I don't think BM is that weak right now necessarily. It's just marginally weaker. I mean, this isn't saying I play perfect in either of them. Definitely sims higher, so it'll always be a little bit ahead, but I mean, this isn't unplayable. Like if your whole group did this overall, you'd probably still time the ski. E3, if what you mean is I was responding to a YouTube chatter. I'm streaming to both. If that's what that question was directed to. All I'm seeing from this is that I'm just ass. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Both specs are completely fine, I think. And there's different strengths and weaknesses from both. Yeah. Get on here to this scrap. Also, chat, I'm here to just chat today while I hunt these down. These rep grinds. If you guys have any questions or something, I can just talk.
You're gonna let that stop you? Fix it!
The thing is about like the difference between MM and BM is they have different damage profiles. So BM's gonna. I have commands for all this too. I wonder if these work for YouTube. But basically, MM is good in like the 3 to 10 range. It'll always be better than BM in that range. But the second you hit like 11 plus, BM's gonna win, and then BM's also gonna win in the 1 to 2 target range over Sentinel. You can like combat that like 1 to 2 target range by kind of going into it with MM. You can change some talents around. You can play Dark Ranger to get better single, but it's not gonna like 1-to-1 cover all the weaknesses, and it might make the spec just overall weaker in some cases too. But you can just play to their strengths, and you can get a lot of value out of it. Don't get me wrong though, I do think MM is just a smidge better for sure. But I wouldn't say BM is unplayable by any means. You're a 3 out of 8 Mythic Raider and you're like 2 dungeons away from 3k, but damage doesn't feel right. You're running the no call build and the no bloodshed. Basically no CDs other than Bestial Wrath. In Raid, you're playing that? Or in Keys, you're playing that build?
Best deals in town. Thanks for stopping by.
Nice. Okay, we're honored with a Blackwater cartel now. In Keys, you're playing that? Keys, no CDs? Yeah, that's the like typical build. I will say this build requires you to play your rotation much more perfectly. This one right here, because it's all about cycling your beasts, and a lot of people don't cycle their beasts properly. And so like it's, if you're not great at the rotation for BM, this one is going to hurt your rotation, or it's going to hurt your overall way more to play this one not at 100%. Like if you play this spec and you mess up a lot of globals, it's like not as noticeable. But if you like the call build, because there's so much like more room for error, it's all about just like generic bestial uptime. But if you play this other build, the no CD build, this is probably the one you're talking about. It's way more impactful because you're playing around Dire Cleave and Huntmaster's Call and Dire Beast, and this is just, it makes the rotation entirely just up to your overall is very dictated by your globals. Because by not playing cooldowns, you can't rely on your cooldowns for big damage. So any minor mistake is gonna be a lot harder. If you're maybe still like trying to like master beast cycling and stuff, then like maybe you could play the call build. Double quarter pounder, large fries, extra salt, and oxive. Is that what you just ordered? I never gotten extra salt on my fries before. It's interesting.
This world is vast and wondrous.
You're getting it now. I'll buy a couple of these for alts. Let's buy like 3 to short me down. I'll put them all in this bag for now. We should start telling everyone we are the MDI champions and we won. I like to spread misinformation for fun. Wait, this thing looks sick. Why is this cool box there? Ox, if you love misinformation, that's like your favorite. That's like your favorite thing. Is that like, what's that called? There's like a type of humor that's like, it's not dry humor. It's the. Have you ever heard of Nathan Fielder? It's like that kind of humor. Like trolling, I guess. So fun to lie on the internet.
Got just what you need.
It's so fun to lie on the internet. Absurdist humor, you do it too. It is pretty funny. I don't guess I've ever heard of Nathan Fielder. That comedian's pretty funny. I think if he has like that kind of humor, I think you would really like him. Yeah, I think if I didn't play Hunter, I'd probably play Mage. I think that spec or that class always has like a viable spec, and I don't know. Fire, whenever it's strong, is always like it's too dominant. Same with Arcane. I feel like both of those the same like profile of being like very prio focused. However, whenever I make an alt, typically it's just like one spec of a class that I like. I usually don't alt the entire class, but if I mean something, I'm gonna play the entire class. So if I mean like druid, I'd probably play like bear and healer and everything. It would have been better if Nathan Phil wasn't real and I was just talking shit. I just made up some random comedian. I was just like, yeah. That's my favorite. Thanks for his commands. A friend is very lost and when to play Sentinel Dark Ranger. He just came back. And it feels like you need a lot of procs to make the spec work. So thanks for the commands on to the one bothering me questions. Yeah, no problem. That's what they're there for. It also works in my offline chat too. So if I'm ever not live and you're like, oh, I wonder what stuff Banishers is doing right now, like you can just pop up commands in the offline chat. Is heroic jastering better than a mythic eye level heavy mastery incurring? That's a question only your sim would know the answer to, but on my character the answer is yes by a long shot. I even had a normal Jester ring simming higher than a lot of myth rings. So for the Dire Beast build and a BM Mythic Plus, the basic build with Serpentine Ribbon and Killer Cobra, why do I run Barb Scales and 2 cents of Bloods? You can swap those talents whenever. This version is a little bit more single target and prio. It's minimal. You actually gain more AoE by playing this build, but it really doesn't matter. Like that change is very minimal regardless. This one just gives you more kill commands and it's all about spreading barb shots, so it's a little bit harder to play overall, I think, because spreading barb shots becomes more percentage of your overall. But playing this build, I would say it's slightly easier and more single targety. So like this would be like a workshop build probably if you were to like put one in somewhere else, and this would be like a priory build or something, or like floodgate. Like this is just more AoE and this is more single targety. You also have an explosive shot? Oh, never. Yeah, not for BM. BM doesn't play it. After reading everything, I have a question. Let me know if anything. Awesome. Yeah, no problem. I'm right here. What's the main thing I'm doing for DPS for MM Sentinel? I feel like you can't do enough damage. I feel like, so all it really is you're just alternating between multi-shot and aim shot, or rapid fire and multi-shot. Like you're just kind of going between, you're bouncing back and forth between like multi-shot and then like some spell that trick shots like every time. Why doesn't Blizzard make Mirage viable? I don't know. It's pretty bad for BM, and I think it's not even in the MM tree anymore. Pretty sure. Actually crazy. It's only for BM, which is the only spec that I feel like probably shouldn't be for. You hope for Dark Ranger survival. As MM, do I use multi on 2 target? For Sentinel, yes. For Dark Ranger, no. It kind of depends on all of the talents you're taking, but if you're talking about like my Dark Ranger build, then my command, then no, you wouldn't multi-shot on 2 target. Do I have any defensive tips for Swamp Face 18? Do you need DR early on the dot in the wave? Feels like he gets smoked on a hunter. The worst thing about Swamp Face and Kindle King, they're kind of the same boss for us, is you're not in control of your own life. All you can do and all you should do is defensive every wave. Your healer has to just keep you alive outside of that. And you want to just hit exil as much as you can when you're so one thing that's really important and really hard for those kind of fights is you actually need to track everything that your healer has. available and how they're healing you. So like in my group, I track my healer's lightning stacks. I track his revival. I track his cocoon. I track his Chi. I don't track his Shayloons. I don't know if there's a way to, but I don't know. I'm basically tracking everything he has. And there's moments where he's empty, and that's when I hit Exil. I never overlap my Exil when he has stuff. And I'm trying specifically to never overlap. If you ever overlap with your healer, you're gonna die at some point in the fight, and you just need something on the wave. So like ideally you would wall the first one, probably turtle the second, wall the next one. You can like do a set where you like Exil health pot, and then you can wall another one, and then the boss should probably be dead somewhere before the sixth one. You're just gonna run out of buttons at some point. You need 3 sets of items for all 3 specs. Honestly, I have like 4 sets because MM kind of has 2 sets. MM has like a Dark Ranger set and a Sentinel set, and then Survival I have kind of just 1 set. It's just like a Mastery heavy set, and then BM has another set. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. There's a bunch. Yeah, I would say a lot of Hunter's one of the classes where like that's kind of the case for any hard healing fight. You just need to be really aware of your healer and how your healer heals in general. Like you need to be very knowledgeable of all the healer specs if you're playing with any of them, and you need to understand exactly how to play off of them strategically. It's pretty frustrating at times. I feel like some classes don't have to do that. Especially if you play with a lot of classes that have like AoE defensives. Like if you have a mage in the group and they can arcane barrier a set, or mass barrier I mean, or if you have like a DK that can AMZ, that stuff's really strong. Is the Wraith going out to swap to Dark Ranger? You feel like it's tankier? Sentinel Shield feels like nothing. Well, one thing is Sentinel Shield is a lot of healing. Not like a lot of healing, but it's not nothing. It's just constant healing throughout the fight to counter the rot. Dark Ranger is good for Swamp Face in particular because you can... The whole wave segment, if you just exil after the first wave hits, you can wall that whole set. Again, you're putting all the stress on your healer though, because then they are entirely in charge of your life outside of that. You can no longer randomly exil. Whenever you see that they're low, you're holding exils for the waves, but you can do that, yeah. What spec would I call the best right now in Mythic Plus, just damage wise? For Hunter, it's probably Marksmanship. And MM Sentinel, is there any talent or something that reduces the true shot 2-minute cooldown? Is it just fixed 2-minute? It's called calling the shots, I think. It's here, I'll show you. In reality, your true shot's like a 130 because of this talent. So consuming Spotter's Mark reduces the cooldown of your true shot by 3 seconds. And Spotter's Mark is... Where is it? Oh, I guess it's right here. Damaging an enemy with abilities empowered by precise shots is a 30% chance to apply Spotter's Mark to the primary target, causing your next aim shot to deal 40% more damage. So every time you cast aim shot, you're following up with a precise shot, and every time you precise shot, it's like basically a 30% chance to get a red debuff on your target, and every time you spend that, you get 3 seconds off your true shot. And so in practice, instead of it being a 2-minute, it's like a 130. And another thing with that is there's this talent that is played in some builds where your Spotter's Mark has a 25% chance to cleave and like spawn on up to 3 extra targets. And so when you play this talent, your true shot goes from a 130 to like a 1 minute, basically. So you can play multiple builds. I actually don't like this talent, but it is a potential build that you can play. So then a 130 usable trinket is better than a 2-minute. Yeah, so that's why I highly recommend House of Cards. That's why I think this is your best setup, typically, for both variations of Hunter. I like it for Sentinel and I like it for Dark Ranger. Also Sentinel or Pack Leader survival. Pack Leader does more damage. I usually just push a Sentinel though, because it is tankier for the Sentinel shield. So if I were to play one of the two survival specs, it's usually just Sentinel. Especially because I bring it out only for fun. And so I don't want to like pull out like a really squishy spec just for a particular key or something. Because like the only way we deplete keys right now as a group is we die, basically. Either I love your pushing team, I really enjoy the vibes, that's why I'm so eager to ask and learn. Sorry for bothering. Yeah, no problem. I also like my team. They're very chill. Very chill group. The TOTS handling is so giga boring and wrist destroying. TOTS. Oh, tip of the spear. Sorry, it took me a second. I was brain lagging. I don't know, you kind of never need to worry about tip of the spear. Like, if you just do your rotation naturally, you'll always do it correctly. You'll never basically need to think about your tips. Like if you, because you basically, you hit kill command anytime you're like low on focus, right? Like you're running out of focus. You're below like 70 on the threshold typically. So if you just do that, you don't really need to look at your tips. I do track them, but I feel like more often than not, all I'm doing is just playing around my focus and tipping the correct button every time just by accident. Explosive over implosion trap. So implosive trap actually doesn't move the mobs, it just knocks them up. So it's just like an AoE stop. My group has the AoE stops kind of on lockdown, and so if anything, it's better typically for me to have the option to play a way to move mobs around. So typically in keys, I'll knock mobs around with this and bursting shot, so that way I have two options. If I'm pugging, sometimes I'll check with the group what they need from me, because I think they're both good. I think implosive trap's typically better if you're just straight pugging. Because a lot of groups are really bad with stops. Like if I'm pugging, I don't trust my group to get any stops at all. And so I like to be in control there. And so I basically implosive off cooldown. And if I'm just like pugging a key, I'm trying to like make sure I get all the stops. I'm kicking a lot. I'm stunning mobs with binding shot and stuff like that. In my group, it's very controlled, and they kind of have it locked down with like what they have set up as their stops. And so it's better for me to like go into more of a niche thing like knock trap as opposed to knock up trap. More often than not, my group will have situations like, you know, like at the start of Priory, and let me pull up MDT. There's a section here, like, you know, these sharpshooters, if they ever bounce to us or jump to a spot where they're kind of out of the group, we can lose a lot of time there. But if I just have double knock, then we have the freedom to make more mistakes and not have it hurt the timer. Because like, sure, you can play perfect, never bait them out properly, and dodge chainmail every single time. Or you can make sure you dodge chainmail, and then if they jump out badly because you're dodging chainmail, then you can just knock them back in. There's a lot of scenarios where like mobs will be in weird spots. Like in Meadery, like there's these mobs, the Wranglers, they kind of just stand out. So it's nice to be able to knock them in. Dark Flame, these mole herds don't move. And so it's really nice to be able to knock them around as well. Or the casters. It's good in this area too. Like the horrors, when you're trying to defend the cart, I like knocking things away from the cart so that I can... Basically, my job in this section is to keep the cart rolling. And so if I had knock up trap, it wouldn't help here. But this way I get to rotate, kick, knock from bursting shot and knock trap, and I have 3 things I can just rotate knocking here. I don't know. There's basically something in every dungeon where knock trap is extremely useful, and knock up trap is also useful, but in a different way. And so I'm just playing into the strength of knock back trap. It also has a lower cooldown, and so specifically for BM Hunter, there's a really cool combo that I'd like to show you because I think it's OP. But there's this talent called Horsehair Tether, right? So when an enemy is stunned by Binding Shot, it's dragged out of the Binding Shot center. So it adds basically Ursul's Vortex, if you're familiar with that move from Druids. I was going to test something on that guy, but... So let's pull these 2 guys. And so watch. I'm going to put a Binding Shot right here, and then I'm going to knock them away. And what it's going to happen is they're going to get sucked back in, and then they're going to get stunned. And I'm also playing long Binding Shot, so they get out of that stun, and then they just get like stunned for a long time. So like it's like it's a 2 global stop, but it's a very good 2 global stop because it takes a second to knock them back. So it's like a whole second of them being knocked around, and then it also stuns them for 4 seconds here if they're not DR'd. And another cool thing, so I mean you can do that combo with both traps, but this is a 1-minute cooldown and this is a 40-second cooldown, and Binding Shot's a 45-second cooldown, and it actually gets CDR'd by kill command. And so in reality it's at least a 40-second cooldown, probably lower. And so having a lower cooldown trap means you can do the combo every time Binding Shot comes up, as opposed to waiting a minute. And so you can do the combo off cooldown. So as BM, it's way better to play this trap if you're trying to use it for a stop. So there's not really a reason to play knock up trap as BM, in my opinion. You'd rather just play knock back trap. It's very, very strong combo for mob control. As long as they're not immune to those kind of stops, like they're like elites or something, or like lieutenants, I think they're called, then you would like that combo. On MM, Sentinel Deathblow talent isn't good, or using Killshot not as good. You never hit Killshot really for Sentinel. There's only one case where Sentinel Killshot's worth playing or pressing, and it's if it's at the very end of a pack and that Killshot will kill the mob. Because like it's not worth to cast an aim shot because you're not going to get the cast off, and so in that very small window it's good to hit the Killshot. That's pretty much the only time you press it. So if you look at my log, sometimes at the very end of a Sentinel key, I'll press Killshot like once or twice. I think like in a real key where I was like playing properly, I hit like 5 Killshots at the end of that key, and that's like my record of hitting it like at good times. Like you pretty much can take it completely off your bars. Use bursting shot a lot for the Binding Shot stop. That is also another way to do it. It's pretty OP. You can do that for pack leader or survival to do it that way. The thing is like it does require your positioning to be way better, and also the knock is smaller and directional. So like let's say the mobs are like spread like here, 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 and here, and you're trying to like angle it so that your bursting shot will hit every single mob, or you can hit this. And you see the explosion? It's just like, I don't know. It's just like another way to do it there. But also it's nice to have 2 knocks because like kind of what I was explaining earlier. The reason I even run this is an MM, I still play this combo, and it's because I value knocks more than the knock up typically. And so even as BM, it's nice to have like 2 options there. Because like it's either I'm using this to knock them or I'm using this to knock them. So I have 2 ways. So like let's say I need to like AoE stop something with a Binding Shot, then I can still have bursting shot to knock them as well, or vice versa. Hey, am I gonna put my 5 master on? I did. I should have gone up at noon. Also, hi Calazar. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, my Vision 5 mask is it just got posted on YouTube, I believe.
Tourists floundering out there in the marinas, bad for everybody. Help them out.
The 5 mask giving you headaches. I think survival is viable in 13 and 15s. Yeah, I've done. Yeah, let's see. What does my survival IO look like right now? So this is before the turbo boost. I'm probably gonna play survival a little bit next week when they when they buff it, just for fun. But yeah, I already have. I think it's completely fine in these keys. The thing is like, it is just worse than both of the range specs, I think. It's like kind of tied with BM after the buffs. But the problem is like, it doesn't have like, basically being a range is extremely valuable in keys, especially like depending on the comp. Like the comp I play with, if we add Mia's survival, then everyone's melee. And so it becomes like way harder. I do think you can play any spec though, up until like 18s at least. Probably 19s too. Like any spec in the game. I don't think there's a single spec that's like outlawed from timing a key. The balance is pretty good right now, I think, overall. I can clear all 4 zones for run out of sandy in time. Og is actually clearing 19s already. Like 2 weeks ago, people were doing some 19s with them. They're playing Og, enhancement, and then insert spec. Usually it's a boomkin, but it's kind of varying. Og's kind of back in the meta if you build around it, especially in raid. I think we're at the point where like my guild's starting to prep an Og for raid. It's only after the turbo boost as far as I know. I think it was before the turbo boost, I'm pretty sure. Because the turbo boost was what, the 13th? I think there was Og runs that were doing 19s like before that. Didn't get to watch this today? Yeah, we did. We did the 5 mask.
Shipping and receiving.
Once you get elite extermination, it gets a lot easier, I think. You have to like, if you farm out for a while, you'll eventually get elite extermination maxed out, and that actually gives you so much wiggle room. It's kind of crazy. Like we were like barely not getting it. Like I think there was one run where I did it before I had it maxed out, and we were 1 global from finishing it, and then I like messed up a few runs, and then in those runs I like farmed out the max rank of elite extermination. That's the one where like you get more sanity per boss kill. When does my stream end? I kind of just started it, Marsh, but I could mute comms. I was planning to stream until like probably midnight. Need a pack anyway. Okay. Easier sandy loss from abilities, but something to pop orb earlier. You can find pots. Yeah. Yeah, all the achievements at 100% except the looting one. RNG for the pots are so bad. Yeah. If you check my video and see if you like the route I did. I don't know if it's the most optimal route. I do also employ something where like I swap I do swap, what's it called? I play MM for some of the parts. The Weird World quest. Kind of like it though. Feel like I'm rapid firing. Skip the entire cathedral? I don't know if skipping the entire cathedral is good because I utilize the TP back. So like I do think it's really worth. I skipped only this section. Like there's like 3 packs right here, and I put all of this together because you're gonna want to trigger the RP for Illyria. So I guess I can walk through my whole route, but basically I do a big pull here with my 2-minute. Then I go over here and I clear all the trash and I 2-minute here. And then I swap Dark Ranger. I kill this guy. And then I go over here. I kind of do Old Town pretty normal. Just kind of hold W. I port back to the start. I like mount up, touch the Cathedral Square to start the RP for the last boss. And then I run back down here. And then I do the trade district kind of pretty natty, nothing crazy. Do Mage Quarter. I do MM for the horror boss right here. And then I go back BM for the rest of it. Go up here, kill this guy as BM. And then I do Illyria as Dark Ranger. So I Dark Ranger once here. Once here. I Dark Ranger Shaw too. So I 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Dark Rangers total. And I just do it to pop in like a full true shot. But I do think it's worth doing that pull at the start, because otherwise you're running through and you want to get your cooldowns on cooldown as soon as you possibly can. When and why does he stealth? It's on a timer. So he stealths 10 seconds in and then stealths again like 20 seconds in. So once he disappears the first time, he does 3 circles on the ground. And then on the 3rd one, he respawns at a stealth. And that's when you want to hit your cooldown. So you don't want to hit it too early.
Look, you've been doing some good work lately. So go enjoy a few holes on me at the course.
Yeah, it's very timer based. And then he spawns eyes at % health, I think. My last question of the night is why some people run a little even haste mastery on Dark Rangers MM Mythic Plus. Well, so Dark Ranger is different. That stat command, it's just to try to not confuse people, because I recommend Sentinel more than I recommend Dark Ranger in general. Like if you were to hard pick one, I guess if I want to be more thorough, there'd be an extra section in that where it's just if you're specifically playing Dark Ranger MM, then you do like haste. You like haste more than mastery. So basically, haste and mastery flip. On a flip, it becomes this. That's Dark Ranger's stat prio. And that's mainly because like Dark Ranger has things that actually scale with haste typically, just better. You're gonna try to run this moment? Yeah, if you wanted to like check out my YouTube video, you could probably flip through and see like just the generic route. I think my route is pretty optimized because that's the route I used to run back in BFA. And so that's the one that like, you just want to make sure you get all the mini bosses to get the extra damage bonuses and stuff. Do I have a guide video for Hunter on YouTube? No, I do not.
Kinda scary, actually.
Friend found Dark Ranger more fun than Sentinel, and since we're just doing 12s and 13s, you should be fine anyways. Just check my YouTube. Nice.
What's the damage?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you guys are doing 12s, it doesn't really matter what spec you're doing, and they're both really good. Like Dark Ranger and Sentinel are both pretty even. I just think Sentinel is slightly better. Like basically every key. Oh, I missed. You made a DH in BFA, so visions were maximum cheese. DH under geared now, so you gotta play your hunter. DH is still insane at visions. One of my guildies did a Havoc run. And I was watching his VOD, and he actually just like never stops moving. He just pulls everything, and he doesn't care. Like he actually just kills everything. It doesn't matter. Kind of crazy. Nothing can kill him, and he can just kill everything in like a blade dance. It's so strong.
Wait, what? You beat my high score? That ain't a way to be a team player. Good riddance. Those scurvy slurping, sail flaying, deck swabbing excuses for imitation sea folk.
With all the fun info on this stream. Nice. Glad you're enjoying it. See, how's our list? We can just do 2 races and we're done. You get smacked a lot? Yeah.
See you around.
The Old Town mobs hurt a lot. Yeah, the executioners I think is the ones that hurt the most. Hi Beatrice, how are you? Hi Bucci. I'm doing well. Today's kind of a chill day. I'm just want to get some world content done that I get kind of backed up on when we push a lot.
You ever think about doing this professionally?
Guys, it would be Old Town or being that hard in BFA. You should watch. I don't know. I feel like you should watch my video of how I pull it, because I kind of feel like I kind of delete Old Town like pretty hard, because you don't need to rush Old Town, and you can kind of just take your time and just do 1 pack at a time, because you don't want to bolster it. Bolstering Old Town's really bad. I think that's the only place you can die. But if you take it 1 pack at a time, whenever I hit Bestial Wrath, I basically like one-shot the mobs. I don't know how geared your hunter is exactly, but like I'm pretty much bis. But like if I'm in Bestial and I just hit like kill command, I can basically one-shot all the mobs except for like the mini bosses. Your perspectives? Oh, I see. Okay. You have no PM haste? Ah. You could also try survival. Survival and BM are pretty similar, because you're gonna have your pet tank most of the time anyway for both. I feel like a sentinel MM would kind of go hard, or a sentinel survival kind of go hard in there. Wait, was your in there? Oh, rip. Yeah, I'm glad they brought visions back, to be honest. I think visions are really fun. I think out of all the solo content they've made that's been like, you know, like tied to power, like, or like grindy stuff like islands, Torghast. What else is in that? Like delves, visions. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I think visions are my favorite just because you can turn the difficulty on and off. And it's kind of like Mythic Plus, but just solo. Like find the underpin. Yeah, those the question marks are really fun too. Travel buffs would be enough. Not to make it meta or anything, but it's enough to make it way better than it is right now. So that's good. They basically tackled survival's uncapped damage. Which I don't know, it's just good overall. Good all around. How can I get the bet? The left one? I have no idea what that means. How can I get the bet? The left one. If someone without a guild for a long time, I really enjoy challenging solo content. Visions are nostalgic. Yeah. I'm worried that the 8 mask isn't going to be that hard. Like, I think a 5 mask right now is harder than an 8 mask because I'm going to have the full tree when I do an 8 mask, you know? But it is going to be like, what, 75% more health and damage to all the mobs? Maybe that'll be the hard part. The bender.
Explosive bargains.
There we go.
Check in real soon.
My pet. Oh, the left one. This one, Hawk. You have to do Mythic for Hawk. And get the mount from him. It's this one. You need this mount. If you get this mount, then you can tame this pet. But you need to get the mount first. It gives you the license to tame the pet. Grab him and keys. How much haste do you want? It depends. Are you talking about Sentinel? If you're talking about Sentinel, you want like none. So I play like 5% haste for Sentinel. And if you're talking about Dark Ranger, you want a decent amount. I play like 15%. But you probably want a little bit more than that. House of Cards or Priory for BM, Mythic Plus, and Raid. Depends a lot on the builds you're playing. What? It's if you're playing like the no cooldown build, I like House of Cards better. If you're playing the cooldown build for BM, I like playing Priory. And in Raid, I pretty much always play Priory because I play Bloodshed. And I like the Priory with the Bloodshed. I think it's really strong. Sentinel is better, correct? It's not quite so clear, but yes. I like Sentinel better and I think it's better. But I wouldn't just neglect Dark Ranger because I think it's better in some cases. I'd say it's better in like half the cases. So it's worth knowing how to play both if you feel comfortable with that. It does require like multiple sets of gear, which is the biggest turn off. Curious. This is like basically the difference between the two. Yeah, I think we're done with goblin stuff for now. I could probably head over to like Hollow Fall, I think. Badge. I think Mythic Amir is still soloable by now. Actually, maybe not. You might need like a person with you or something. I know someone in my chat recently just got the Farok Mount. They were really excited about it. They're running 3 masks won't make it much harder than it already is, except the extra 75%. Yeah. Burning Bridge is the same as his own effect in BFA for XR. Yeah, it's like the one, it's like a snail trail behind you. I think that was also a mask, I thought. The new ones are like Multitudes is one of them. The bolstering one is one of them. And then the other one is the Nemesis one where like an elite spawns every once in a while. Those are the 3 new ones. The other 5 are the same 5, I think.
The lamplighters are stretched thin. For the Arathi to survive, we must settle in lands shadowed from.
You mean? Yeah, yeah. Multitudes is one of those 3.
The darkness
Multitudes is the.
not even our key flames can dispel.
It's the teaming, the bolstering, and the Nemesis. But the other 5 are the same, I think. 2 of the ones we don't have, we had back then. It was the Daredevil one, and then there was the Burn Bridge one. Cause like, yeah, the bottom 3 are the new ones. Cause the top 5 are the old ones. I was wondering how Augur and Gammon is new. Yeah, yeah. The Nemesis that we couldn't actually finish it this week because you had to fight Gammon. But Gammon's gonna give you the other half of this, and then Vengeance is the bolstering one. That one's new because those mobs in the canals are new, and then Multitudes is new. That's from doing the 100% clear. So the top 5 are the original ones. They actually might even be here. Let me look at that somewhere. Yeah, yeah, you can see right here. Pain, Dark Imagination, Burn Bridge, Daredevil, and Long Night. Let's see, what do I have to do next week? I have to complete the objectives and start with 8 masks. I'm happy I got this. What sucks is, I guess it won't suck that much, but yeah, it's like do it natty, do it 1 mass, do it 5 mass, and then do it 8 mass. But the 8 mass is gonna have the date that. I guess it's fine.
Cobus infest the hungering pool and attack our people. Cleanse the pool of their filth.
Yeah. It'll be fine. Oh well. So yeah, doing a 1 mask of both gives you the pet. Doing an 8 mask of both gives you a mount. And then... Is this the last of this achievement or is there a 100k one? There's not a 100k one. Can try my rate or out. Alright, good luck. You got this. I'm apparently bugged up the mass somehow on 6 out of 8 of them. You got Nemesis somehow this week. Oh. I wonder if there's a way to somehow like get Hogger to drop 2 for you. Like let's say you were playing with a friend, you get in their vision or something. And they drop they like summon Hogger because they haven't done it yet, and then you get to loot a shard from him. You know? Like that was a thought that came in my mind. When you said that, like that might be a thing. Shard from game is a different one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know then. That's my main guess.
Your particular set of talents are required here. Undermine the Kahedi forces in this area, lest they crush the Arathi too quickly.
And it's how the mad. Let me see. Okay, one. Biggie W. Wait, is he on a Windwalker? Oh, that's his warrior. Oh, he's tanking. Whoa. Interesting. We're paying for corruption as BM. Just void ritual, same as the other two specs. If you really want to min max, I think Gushing Wound's better slightly in like pure single target. So if you're like raiding and stuff, then you can play Gushing. I think it's better in PvP too. But I'm just gonna play Void Ritual in both and take the 0.1% damage loss on single target.
The Emperor rewards the faithful.
Yeah. Play Lesser Void Ritual this week, and then I think next week is when we get to play Greater Void Ritual. Oh, there's no way. Wait, I've been trying to kill this guy for so long, but I keep missing him. He's for an achievement. Dang. This guy. I wonder what their respawns are. Let's see. Achievements I'm still missing. I'm missing 2 here. This achievement's crazy. I can't believe this exists. And there's this one. Look it up. Fighter of the Nightmen. Wowhead. Comments. Interesting. Interesting. So if I like just 100% this area, I start using the 5S videos BM unless you Dire Beast. I was playing the call build, so like the CD build there for keys. I like that because it lets you alternate and do big packs basically, like a lot easier, I think. There's a comment in here that says like how often these respawn.
You are an outsider, yes.
You weren't playing MD plus no hurt feelings. I actually didn't. With the build, I ended up getting the 5 mask. No. But yeah, I recommend that. It's because I was playing the no CD build for a little while before I swapped, and the no CD build had it. But when I swapped, I didn't realize I didn't have those talents. But I would recommend for your run that you run this.
I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target.
Like if I could go back and play those talents, I would have. But I didn't realize I wasn't playing them until we won. It was a little unfortunate.
Our airship engineers are running dangerously low on supplies. Recover what tools you can.
Sacred flame guide your way from.
Prepare yourselves. The Sareki are on the move.
It's okay, so there's a cat mount I want from these still. Still haven't gotten it. That's okay.
Is that the
At least clearing for the pots. Seems worth. I did it just to get my cooldowns on cooldown. Cause like, you're only in division for like X amount of time, right?
Come back with some better stories.
Yeah, it's just getting that extra Call of the Wild there at the start. Because like by the time I get to the mini boss in Dwarven District, it's back up. I Call of the Wild. So like I'm not really losing a cast. This was just free damn. And then one thing, so actually in the run that I completed it on, there's an important part, but because I killed the little elites in front of Illyria, her door is actually already open. And so when you port back after killing Shaw, you should walk in and start her timer. She has like a 15-second RP that if you just kind of like barely walk into the room, your bigwigs timer will start and then you can like leave. But that saves you like 5 seconds later when you get back. I didn't do it on the run I completed it on, but that was like something I was min-maxing in like some of the failed runs. Top of the stairs. Yeah, you'll see on your bigwigs timer. It's like you have to like barely enter. It's like you don't have to go into the room. You just kind of go up the stairs and kind of like edge in. Yeah, it dismounts you, but like as soon as you see the bigwigs timer, you just turn around. You could even do a trial run right now if you wanted and find the exact spot maybe that you have to touch to start the timer. Like just run in, do that, and then like leave the instance group and like put it out. Yeah, after Shaw, yeah, you could do it at the start there just to like test it. But yeah, that's when I would actually do it. I would, as soon as you kill Shaw, you port to the start and you just kind of go in there and start the thing. Nice. We got 700 renown from that. I just kind of hang out in AFK. Basically every week I'm getting a renown from this. And so after 10 weeks of just doing this once a week, then I'll have finished this. I'm going for this mount. Not sure there's a title too, or an achievement. Why'd I have the first orb before entering Old Town? I had over 40%. That's just the I had a really good run that time. And that's just where I've always dropped it. And I could have milked that one more, but that's just normally my benchmark. I have 3 orbs planned exactly in 3 spots. Because there was other runs where I got to that exact spot and I didn't I'm at like usually 10%. I think I had like 2 sanity vials in that run, so I kind of had a good run. But if I didn't have those, that would have been like the orb I was trying to get to. Yeah, so like my orbs are in specific spots to like combat the RNG. You can adapt and be very variable. It's just there's just 3 spots that I feel like you can safely always do. The 3 I do in that video are the normal ones. It's right there at the right before the Dwarven district, right before the Mage district, the Mage quarter, and like right before the end, basically. I think those are my 3 orbs. I think in that run I actually got unlucky in the middle and I had the orb early in the trade district as I was trying to leave it. But normally I orb like at the door to the Dwarven district and then I just go through. The Mage quarter feels like it takes the most time out of all the sections. How many upgrades to the hourglass? It's the top like 4, and then you're time gated to the bottom ones. I was there yesterday live, but I couldn't remember since I was doing my own runs. I should be piece by piece still. Yeah.
Hold the line! Keep your strikes decisive and your aim true! May the flame guide you! Vigilant. The enemy will return to throw
Nice.
themselves upon our blades once more.
Guy's taken out.
We burn brightly. Victory for the flames' radiance. Take a moment for celebration, but stay on your guard. They'll return soon enough.
Do I have the full mark in this yet? Where is it?
I support our army with the finest blades.
Dang.
The sacred flame tempers not just our souls, but
Nice. Get that mog done. Oh yeah. Do something. I'm gonna add that video link that you're watching to that command that people wanted to see my full clear. They can just do that. My videos. Oh, my own stream came up on YouTube. Happy link address. Horrific Vision of Storm in 5, man. One of these sounds is actually good to 12-15 keys. It's BM. I like the CD build or the no CD build. The last one is the single target build that you would only play in raid. Most people recommend the no CD build for BM talents, but I think they're both good. And I played them both a lot. What the? Yep, no problem. Oh, I don't want that timestamp there. What the heck? Let's redo that. Where did I clear out the bank mob for lulz? You get 10% crit. So also in the very first area, there's mini bosses if you remember. There's. Yeah, let me show you. Well, let me edit this really quick. I fly to safety. Hang on this cliff or something. So there's one mini boss Yeah, so in the start, there's a mini boss that either spawns here that I kill at the very start on purpose because it gives you 10%. I forgot what this one is, but this guy, there's one in here. So these two are they're linked. One of them's gonna spawn and the other one won't every time. So it's RNG on the run. This one gives you 10% haste, and this guy gives you something. I forget what he does. And then there's another one that either spawns in the bank or here. And the one over here is 10% damage, and the one in the bank is 10% crit. So in the run that you're watching, I got this guy and this guy. Just these two. It's a 1 hour buff. So yeah, the whole run once you kill them. And those are really important, I think, for like min-maxing the rest of that run. Especially the first one. The one in the first room is super important. Because it's gonna help you for the entire one. The one that you get, like that bank one, is less important because it's like it's only gonna buff this one in Illyria, you know? But like the one at the very start is like the most important, I think. You should definitely go for this one. Is a single article about them? Yeah, I don't know if I had posted something about them yet. I just remember them from back in BFA. But they're very good.
Cobus infest the hungering pool and attack our people. Cleanse the pool of their filth.
You're gonna jump in? Yeah, maybe that's all you needed. Now you're gonna slam it. For MM, is there a big difference between Sentinel and Yar? Depending on the run, it can be a large difference between the two. What I would recommend is reading this, and it basically explains the difference. But there could be a very large difference between the two.
Time to fix things.
When I was doing multitude, you just killed everything. Like I noticed they were randomized, but I saw the mobs were elite, so I didn't bother. I see. Yeah.
Measure twice, cut once.
Actually, I don't need. Do I need bounty coffers? I have 20. I don't need this.
The gears
I'm just gonna knock out a Delver too. I'll see what delves are active. Do Spiral Weave. That one's super easy. Just gonna lock in the Sentinel. You're doing casual 12s anyway. Nice. Yeah, I prefer Sentinel in basically every key. There's like a reason to run one or the other in every single one.
The clouds above the living grotto are full of rich, useful minerals. Get up there and gather some.
Nice. Just the guy I was looking for. Perfect. wonder how fast I can do +8 delves now. Narn Winds was fixed, yes, on the retaking. Yeah, in my opinion, I think it's generally just still not worth, yeah. The thing is, it's like, so if you want like the full answer, basically you take, if you take Onaran Winds, what's going to happen is your true shot's going to get like a much shorter cooldown. It's also going to do more aim shot damage and proc more like haste procs. But for Sentinel, like the haste procs are relatively lower value-ish. And then also the extra damage from the aim shot doesn't really offset the amount of explosive shot damage you're losing. So just like the raw talent versus the other raw talent, not counting the true shot gain, you would pick Salvo. And because of that, basically, since in my runs, we plan my true shots out very specifically in our routes. And so I don't actually get to use the extra true shots I get by running Onaran Winds. And so the problem there is like, I'm not getting a lot of the sim value that the sim is giving us, because I'm not actually getting the cooldowns at the pace that I should be getting them, and I'm often holding them anyway, and so I'm losing a lot of that sim value. So yeah, typically I just wouldn't worry about it. I would keep playing Salvo personally, but there are ways to take advantage of Onaran. Yeah. I keep just picking these up. They're not going anywhere. Do I just like shoot them out when I target them or something? I see. So there's just ballistas set up throughout the place, right? Just have to shoot the ballistas at the reinforcements. Makes sense.
I don't have a target. I'm out of range.
I don't think I've ever done that variant of that though. That was interesting. I need to do so many more delves for this achievement. I got my bounty. Nice. Maybe I get a what's it called? A funhouse lens in the next one.
Fantastic!
Opening wells or delves? No, I'm doing it for the funhouse lens. That's one of the reasons. I'm also just like achievement hunting, so figured I'd start working deeper into these too. I just have like a Biz trinket from delves. Can I get the Delver trinket or the Delver title? Yeah. The Bountiful Banchers. A good one too. Stygian Sea? This. Oh, is this season 1 mogs or something? Wonder what's worth buying with these. I have 5k. What item level is this? F636? That's good to send to like probably my DK. That guy's pretty undergeared. Carlson last? Yeah. It's a lot closer now though. That's good. I think it's like healthily close. I think they're all very well split at this point. Yeah. There's some mount that I want to get from Visions. Maybe we'll do that. It's like a griffin. Got the name of it. Void Scarred Griffin. I need 2 mass active. I need to go to Trade District and find some notes. Okay, this should be pretty easy actually. Pretty sure I can just auction house mount the item once I find out what it is. I need 2 masks on. Vision does MM is terrible? Yeah. I ended up doing it. I did like a split for mine. I think
A bastion of the holy light, now fallen to the void, a staging ground for N'Zoth's armies.
I did like mostly BM, but then I would go MM to one-shot bosses.
Runner forces all to submit to the
Do I honestly think the specs will become closer with upcoming buffs? Yeah. Why not? I think that's a pretty good take. See. Let's take off multitudes. I think that one's fairly annoying. We'll leave on dark imagination and pained. Yeah, we'll leave this. This is probably the easiest too. Am I getting all this info? I just looked up this. And I got it all from the Wowhead. Here, I'll link it. I'm doing it on my other monitor. Mainly because Wowhead does these targeted ads that I don't like showing. Because he'll just dox me. I want to clear my bags before we do this. Let's see. So all this. Then death cycle stuff. Spore-bound stuff, I'll just or bank. I don't know. How much does this sell for? I'll just sell it for very cheap. 35,000. Let's sell it for 2,000. Sell it for 1,000. Someone will be happy with 1,000 for this. And it's already been bought. There you go. Congrats, somebody. Asking, I feel like Survival's main concern is being done 20 million DPS in big pulls like Workshop or Cinderbrew compared to other specs. Um, that's so survival was like that last patch too, but the problem isn't that it doesn't have burst, it's more that it has low throughput overall. If you basically survival right now kind of does the exact same damage the entire time. So like on the first pull of Cinder Brew, you'll be doing what, like I don't know, like 10 to 12 mil or something, and then on the next pull you're also gonna do 10 to 12. The one after that you're gonna do 10 to 12. Maybe there's a smaller pull, you do like 5 to 8. Survival does very consistent damage right now. That's not, I think that's like a like understanding, or like people don't view that properly, because like that's never been a strength of survival, is like strong burst at the start of a pull. That's like specifically its strength is that it's sustained damage. And a lot of people view that strength as a weakness, but it's not, it's just a different damage profile. So like, I don't know. I think that's not the thing that people should look at. Like the first pull of Workshop doesn't matter for that entire key. Like that's like a 1 minute segment of that key. So I don't know if you really want to like put all of your like your concerns about one pull or something. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of specs in the game that they will do really well on that pull, but they won't necessarily time the rest of the key really fast. Like for example, there's a Dark Ranger MM build where you could just take all the AoE talents and you could like clip farm like that first pull of Cinder Brew. You could actually do so much like overall there. Just in that pull, but you would actually time the key so much slower than like most other specs in the game. And so like I wouldn't recommend something like that. Like I think survival's in a like an okay spot. It's just undertuned. Like if they had like another like 3 to 5% aura buff on top of what it's getting, I think it'd be very strong. It's just not right now. And the survival since consistent damage? Yeah, that's typically what I play in a lot of keys. Pack Leader survival just doesn't have the Sentinel shield, and so it doesn't live like 19s and 20s very easily. It can. It's just a lot of the damage checks require a little bit more effective health. Pack Leader is also pretty consistent though overall. Like it does have strong bursts, but not to the peaks of most other classes, I feel like. And a lot of that peak is seen on like the prio. You'll see it do like very large prio. How do you actually sim as a DPS? This MDT sims are like the normal go-to. But whenever I'm being more thorough, I do a bunch of different sims. I'll do like a bunch of different target count sims. Yep, no problem. Okay, where is this? Okay, so the first ripped note will be at the top of the Flight Master's ramp. Can I just jump up here? Oh, okay. So it only wants stake. Second note will be to the right of the trash bowls. Oh, here it is. Cooked. So cooked steak. I need unseasoned field steak. So one of those. Then I put it in here. Oh, here it is. Nice. I got the mount. Thick. I said the time is 5 minutes for the sim. It depends on what I'm trying to gain from that sim. Sometimes it's a 1 minute sim to just see like generically how much damage I do on a pack. You can turn off lust for that. If it's to test trinkets, I like to do 10-minute sims to try and see like how the trinket performs over the course of like a long extended fight. And then 5-minute sims tell you like a pretty good average of like all the different things you probably are looking for. With my team, I don't think it'd be trolling to play Sentinel every key in Pugs at the moment. I feel like going Sentinel if I already have huge prior like Arcane or Sin or something. Yeah. One cool thing is a lot of people meme on Noxiv for not playing arms, but Fury does a lot of prio and it kind of makes like a lot of like good decisions from the rest of us. Like it lets us all play like more efficient builds to do more like overall damage, and I think it's pretty similar speeds. And then Walks does a lot of prio, and then whatever I do doesn't really matter. I kind of need to bring like more AoE, especially uncapped. I kind of like the changes because they're specifically targeting the uncapped portion of like survival. Like they're hitting Fury and they're hitting Explosive Shot. More of that uncapped range. I wonder if it's like disproportionately buffing Sentinel or not. See other chests. I think it's up here to the left. Eh. They already got it. I don't even remember. We'll just take out Illyria. Once the buffs comes in for Sentinel, I'm probably gonna try and do like some Sentinel keys for survival. And some of the keys were like me being ranged doesn't really matter at all.
Zoth clearly exults in the notion of a corrupted stormlight. The further you venture into the city, the more I desire to end.
But you have to understand is that you're gonna lose your rank 1 on Wednesday. Oh, are you currently rank 1? Wait, let me look. Or probably. I mean, maybe not on a Wednesday. It's just like on a push-up key. I'm not actually gonna like push as survival because I think I still need to be MM. Oh, nice. There you are. Yeah, I think we could just do like 19s probably across the board as a team, or at least like in some of the keys. Like Priory, it doesn't matter what spec I play, so I could do like a 19 push-up as a survival. Rookery doesn't matter. Theater doesn't matter. Workshop matters because the first boss gets really funky. If everyone's melee, what happens is all the bombs that spawn can go on anybody. And so that's a dungeon where like, I don't know. I don't like going survival to, I don't know, my team gets really like upset. Motherlode's annoying because the first boss and the second boss is the one that gets like way harder, I think. Floodgate I think doesn't matter. Dark Flame's second boss gets annoying, and then Cinder Brew doesn't matter. Why is everyone talking about survival suddenly? It's just getting a small buff. Is an MM still the best? Yeah. I mean, people just like talking about Hunter stuff here for the most part. Because we're hunters. I think a lot of people min-max the fun out of the game sometimes. I think BM and survival are very fun to play.
I have many lucky doos you like.
I'm just asking to see if it's time to look at survival. It's not better than MM after the buff. This version of Pack Leader is the most fun I've had since playing Dragonflight Survival. I really like the Pack Leader version from last patch too. If you played that one as well, I thought it was really I don't know. I just liked getting big crit modifiers basically. That's kind of fun. Yeah, this current one's also really fun. Mainly in raid. I haven't really been enjoying the pack leader in keys. Mainly because I guess I am kind of cursed. I only pull out pack leader or survival when we're doing like push-up keys, but I feel like I don't play survival enough, and so I always just end up playing sentinel just for the defensive. In keys? No, I just went in raid. In season 1, yeah, in season 1 I rated as a pack leader on all the fights. And then sentinel in all the keys. I did try something in Mist though. I tried playing pack leader in Mist at the start, and then I would swap sentinel. It ended up not working perfectly because we didn't have enough bursts as a group to make that work. Basically, I was like the only one bursting, and so it was kind of awkward. But that was an interesting little thing. Yeah, I just went to raid. Game cannot be fun. We literally press 3 buttons and it's free damage. You like the owl, unless it's a DPS difference. You're not leaving your owl alone. Yeah, I really like I do think BM's pretty fun. It I guess it's the same thing that I like about pack leader survival, but I really like cycling your pets. I think running between the wyvern, the boar, and the bear, and like all the thought that goes into that, it's very interesting. I think I like BM and survival for just pack leader. I think pack leader is the fun part right now, at least. Because BM's kind of the same thing. These talents make pack leader really cool. Just having really strong bears that cleave and dire beasts and all this stuff. It's pretty cool. And then survival's kind of the same. Like you're always just thinking about this, and it's very cool. What else is I gonna do today? We knocked out the void scarred bird. Any other vision mounts I need? What a simple armory. Let's see. Here we are. So these are actually going to take years, it feels like. I don't know how I'm going to get these. Raid Renown, these kind of come for free. These also will come for free by the time I get these, so this won't matter. This I'll get probably in the next couple weeks. This one's going to be annoying to get. This is easy. I'll get this next week. Rare spawn. This one from the chests. Let's see. This I'll get next week. I just got that. These I get next week. Okay, so all of these I basically get next week. It's good. And then... oh, geez. These are going to take forever as well. An AoE DR M plus. I cast Black Arrow after aim shot or multi shot in AoE? In AoE, it's after multi shot. You want to trick shot it. I should try min-maxing pack leader and keys when we'll play survival. I'm sure you'll get addicted to set procs on Mongoose Spike Cleaves. If Don't Look Back is your main concern, only kill defensive issues until 19s at least. Yeah. The thing is my group's 19 Resil, and so we basically only have 19s. Which kind of sucks because, like, I don't know. I haven't, every time I've pulled it out, it's basically been a Resil key that's, like, too high for me to be like, well, I don't want to get one shot by like, me not, like, thinking about the right thing at the right time. Okay, cool. Yeah. Mortimus isn't healed through everything anyways. Yeah. What are the dungeons you think pack leader is most broken in so far? Azra. I feel like you play it like way more than me at this point. If I had to guess, it's probably Rookery, Theater, and Workshop. Those are probably the three that come to mind that I think you'd be really good in. Oh, also, do you know how to specifically... do you know the timing for not falling off on the last boss in Workshop? It's when he's casting, right? That when it is? Pretty sure that's the timing to never get knocked off.
The kobolds are vandalizing and pillaging Morning Rise again. Please stop them in any way you can.
All right, if I do one more delve, I get my map. Maybe it's the trinket. That's the next thing we're gonna do. Raccoon Workshop are the ones you enjoy the most as PL, yeah.
Our miners had to leave their tools behind when the Nerubians attacked. Please retrieve them.
I'll start just praying time. Sometimes you fall, sometimes I don't, but I always use Void Off Racial before pressing CA now, just in case. Oh, you're Void Off. Wait, that's sick.
The flame burns for all of us.
Check the temperature where I live. You can cancel the CA animation with disengage just to be sure. I actually did that once. It was very, very sketchy. I sent it at like the worst time, and I was pretty sure I was dead. I don't know if you were watching our MDI, but basically the same thing happens to DHs, and walks hunted off. Basically, this is the same problem that kills us. That was funny.
Greetings, outsider.
Those whips will summon Nerubians. Don't stand in them.
While I was in the VDH? No, that's exactly what happened. That yeah, that ripped our one of our runs in MDI. The boss was at like 3%, and he hunted off, and then the boss killed everybody. It's crazy. The casters zoomed in on it too. I want everyone to see. You love BM Hunter? I feel like I can't play if you're a pugger because you don't get invited to anything. Yeah, you kind of, I don't know. You have to list your own key or create like a network to play with. If you're playing off meta, like any off meta, like BM, whatever it may be. Survival, I don't know, like Windwalker Monk. Just insert any off meta spec. You kind of need to either list your own key and hope that works, or you have to like play with guildies or anyone on your friends list or whatever and try and make as many friends as you can. If you're meta, you can actually use LFG and it's like an okay tool. I feel like if you're not meta, LFG is just, I don't know, it's kind of like bait. One of 20 queues invited BM. Yeah. It's very unfortunate. It's just like a sad truth of LFG though, because like, let's say you were listing your key, right? And you see 5 people at the same exact IO sign up, but 3 of them are meta and 2 of them aren't. Like, who would you take, you know? That's kind of why you have to make your own key. Because all you're going to do is you're just going to list your key and invite basically the meta. Or whatever you want to do. But it would make most sense to invite the strongest specs that queue up. Alright, we're praying for the trinket to drop.
Nothing old Bran can't get through.
Alright, here goes. Got a cloak. Unfortunate. It happens. Sometimes it's just how it goes. Wandering dolls? Mainly just for fun. I'm hunting a trinket, but also some achievements. Focusing lens. I have a normal one, but it's not a Airphone House lens. It's not enough.
Our miners had to leave their tools behind when the Nerubians attacked.
I actually got a... I think I have 3 energy drinks I've looted. My hero one. Yeah, if I... What is it? Like DKs and Boomkins or something really want that? That one? Something like that. What is the add-on that shows the potions and the visions? It's this command from the title. I think I DC'd. I think energy is better than card house? Nah, no way. No shot. I just have this in my bags. I don't think it's very good. You have some MMs playing with it? That might just be because they don't have House of Cards. I can't imagine not... So most of your damage profile is like the graph. It's like your true shot, and then you're not in true shot, and then it's like your true shot, and then you're not in true shot. So like amping that window by giving it like a % gain is just like very good, but amping like all of your damage a little bit is like less good for the most part. The crystals, not the potions. Type / visions in your game. Or / vision. It's in the add-on. If you read the add-on description, / vision does this, and it shows it up / vision in your chat. Oh, my game caught up. What the hell? It's gonna kill me if I don't disengage. There it is. Yeah, no problem. Alright. Since I might be playing survival next week for fun, I want to upgrade all my stuff. Valor stones. Let me put on my survival set. Let me see. Let me see what I'm cooking. I haven't spec'd into the spec in a little bit. So yeah, I still have Circlet. I'm playing Jasters. 681. Am I playing anything weird? I have like no haste. Wait, I like really want some haste. It's too much. I want a different neck maybe.
What do you seek?
With this? Okay, wait, that actually kind of fixed everything. Is there heroic house of cards better than Signet of Priority for MM? I would sim it. It's different for everyone depending on like every other piece you have on. If it's your rings or your necks and your other trinket and everything, it all depends. And so without the sim, I can't really decide for you, but it is it's house of cards for me, basically.
What brings you here?
You have a mythic pacemaker? Yeah, I mean I actually can't really decide for you if it's better, but it's better for me, and that's all I really know. Yeah, every true shot being empowered is really OP. That's like the main draw of House of Cards. Alright, let's sim my character. A pack leader build. Wait, what build is this? Oh, I'm seeing the wrong build. Do this. I have too much mastery. Wonder if this ring actually sims higher than Circlet finally. Let's take this off and see what my stats look like. Ooh, that could be an interesting angle. Nah, no way. With how much master I stack, I feel like this ring has to still be better. Yeah, I see like a little bit more haste though. It's like a product of like multiple weird things with my gear. Thanks. Cersei's is still better by what's the AoE sim? 30k AoE. And on single target it's 300 DPS better. What weapon do I have for survival? It's the what's the slot machine boss drops this. The Giga Bank Breaker. Only best and soft to the staff? Yeah. Yeah. Probably re-enchant this ring too, since I only use it for survival. I wouldn't mind re-enchanting it. It ends up being better to do so. I'm curious how that affected this sim. Let's see. Make a new set for this and maybe optimize the Sentinel build too. Banish House of Cards or Peace for MM is good, or Signet besides House of Cards. All those are good options. I play Pacemaker and House of Cards normally. All I change is a cloak. All right, seems good. All right, well, I think that's all for my stream tonight. I really just want to like knock out like some random like world quests and world content and stuff. some reputations up I was falling behind on. But wanted to like talk to Chad and help some people out and stuff while I was doing it. But I think that's it for me. Alright, we set up our survival gear too. This will be fun. Let's find someone to host. Maybe a hunter. Any hunters live? Nice. There's live. Here's a good stream as usual. Yep, thanks for hanging out. We're gonna host up Bubbly Heather. She's a BM hunter main. We'll send you guys over there if you guys want to watch some BM hunter gameplay. She's doing a 17 Dark Flame right now. And they're on the last boss. They're about to own. I think this is IO for her. Let's see what's going on over there. See you guys.